Bzzz, the fryer is on it, Maury. Look, you look at the gilt. We got a big circle pulse. It started here and then went there, so it's pinning most of the flows here. And what's coming across from the bite's going to merge in through here. So we have some very, very volatile weather, and the Maury is quite involved in it. It's a very advanced type beam to see when you see the circle pulse and the actual radar rays themselves uh, pulsating, and that is an absolute geoengineered formation that you're seeing there. Do I need to draw the lines on this one, Mr. Squiggles? This is the intended path of heaviest falls that are about to impact the areas of Baraba, Upper Manila, and through these mountains here. And we do have a lot of flash flooding going on right now. Winter weather's occurring in some spots too, so it's going to get a bit slickery out there. Yes, it's going to definitely be nipply. This is another beam here from Gunid here pointing north. You see that here coming towards this area, and it puts a heated flow line that's going to drop more of the condensates. They're going to collide along the interference pattern of the waveforms in the sky over that area. So that's why, yeah, I'm not going to try that for beanbag. I can do beanbag there. Yeah, we do beanbag over there. Yeah, they're giving you the old the tea bag toss. Look at this beam. It's just steady on. It's so that's another geo move too of beaming going on. So that station is active. This station is active. And when I go down here, this was active earlier. I don't know if it's going to show up right now. These are some really wicked storm cells that have crossed over the highway and into the mountain areas here. And they're about to impact Mount Warrawalong. And to keep track of your own safety, I suggest you go to this government website that's got the current warnings in areas that are affected by this man-made land grabia event. Well, if we gonna, it's a tax grab, really. When they try to instill climate chaos in your mind, that the climate itself and the Earth is in trouble, rather than it's got some troublesome people on it, doing some stuff. And that's just the line that Windy did. You see right there to just to the right of my cursor's point on that first dot. You see that cleared out plasma line. That's evidence of the radar beam. And right here is where that pulse occurred. Pow. So to tell me it's a glitch that actually affects the clouds itself would be to tell a lie, right? As we look at some of the geo moves, you see the pulsation occur right here, that circle. Don't tell me that this is a glitch when it's clearly had an effect on the clouds. Okay, so this is a bust, an absolute slam bust. So by looking at where the radars have turned on, it's really sealed the fate of that line that came up from Gone with the Wind there, or Fuels the Windy. Its radar station is doing quite bad. And it is a Nexrad. When they upgraded your systems, they became Nexrad radars. So try telling me some more bullshit, PhDs, who I think they get their upgraded information after going to university from reading a magazine sitting on a toilet. Yep. What else are you doing on the toilet? You taking one of those personal 30-minute breaks? Yeah, because I damn sure tell you to go fuck yourselves sometimes. When I can predict these storms and you don't tell people, that means you're wanting harm, or you're too worried your ego don't pride or whatever won't let you be wrong by doing wrong. This is some really heavy stuff that came through here earlier at Albion Park, and you got more to come. There's some big cells out here that are being blown up now out to sea, but the heaviest electrics are on their way inland. And so places like, I wouldn't be in these caves right now. You might want to get the fuck out. They're going to fill up with water. It's going to run. See, the cell here is rotating. It's got a beat that's going down and up. So if you did it with a drum, you go 2 beats down, then hit the cymbal. Dun, 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 dun. So I can time the arrival of this where it's heaviest cells. It's just the beat of the EMF. And I haven't actually called anybody there yet so I can hear what it sounds like, because I'll be able to tell a lot with that. You had some more beaming that went on down here as well. And Perth, I gotta say, they didn't help your situation. It's not showing on this 1 hour feed. But if I go back to the sixes, it was showing pretty plainly when this big cell came over, a line that went out to sea. Hey, what's this? There's so much beaming going on, but I've got to show you Perth. Perth is getting a bit rocked today. I don't want to leave you out of things because you got a geoengineered event as well. You've been beamed. Let's see if we can pick yours up. See it? Again, the pulse wave, the beam line, the straight lines that just don't end. See the circle beam right there? You're getting the same thing. It's like a speaker bouncing up and down on a bass unit. You can actually cause an undulation in the atmosphere, which collides the small water droplets in the sky till they become bigger droplets so they can fall. And I know you can see this, but let's just do it. I'm going to do a bit of squigglings here. Let's do this. We got a circle beam or a pulsation, that just ripples the pond, so to speak, right here, right around the radar station. And if you had a protractor or compass, you could draw a very accurate arc with this. But these are all going to center on a radar station, these beam lines. See that one there? They're all telling me there's a radar over here. Right? There's a radar there. This other side of the country had a different shutoff because of what was done during the last hour from here. Let's see if we can make this roll a bit. Come here, you. Let's get to the last image. Right, they did a circle pulse inside themselves. See this here? You can actually see the ripples here. If I zoom this up a little bit more, you actually see the pulsations of the waveform's amplitude. I had to get it to stop. Come on. Oh, we didn't squiggle this. Oh, that's why. Well, let's get rid of that. So I can show you the pulse on this pretty easy, as I did the zoom bit on it. Let's see if we're running actually putting out a show, because lately they've been kicking them off as soon as I start. So I'm going to do that for a moment, just have a quick peek. Yes, it says I'm live. And it's my current vibe. So if you look through here, you'll see this. But notice how this is wider gap. See that? This is a pulse wave, but it's turning, right? It's actually turning this direction there, low. And so its drag is spread out. So it's really causing a lot of convections. And of course, the intersections of these lines at the Maury radar station becomes quite evident. And when you zoom back and we put squiggles on again, you can see the flow lines are being set. And by the Nexrad radar beams, perturbances of the atmosphere. Yep. There's a beam here. See that right there? This one was quite active, this station. And right here, it's looking like the station is exactly here. That's doing that particular beam and sent one out there. So this, as stuff comes in, it hits these lines of resistance and the particles tend to drop. So by the time it gets to these beam influences here, there's not much of the main stuff that came in from the ocean. It's just getting fed by the dynamics of the stuff that's circulating in from the bike. I mean, look at the angle on that. It's about as... It's like the all-seeing eye, Is this actually them praying to their God? When you see the all-seeing eye and the rising sun, and they observe certain deities that are not Jesus. It's an oddness right here. See if it moves. Could just been they let it bomb off, yeah. Or it's a high mountain top. Actually, a natural feature of the land affecting the weather is when you got radar beam. Here's another one coming through Salisbury and down through here. You're going to learn to read these. If they may hide the beams, but they ain't hiding engineering. What did I just crush over there? Why is all the heaviest totals there? There's the ripple right here, right here. See the pulsation line? Pulsations. What a bunch of dulls. Scalar square. Making flow lines, dropping them condensates. Why did it rain so much there? Because that pulsation there was like a ripple in a pond, man. And it collided the condensates and helped them to form. Causes a waveform to go through the atmosphere with amplitude. So it actually moves. And the taps is where you'll find most of the heavy bands form. And they'll collide small droplets. If you get like 5 small droplets and you hit them with a waveform, they'll become one large droplet. And the wind updrafts might not have been allowing that to fall, but now it's heavy enough to fall, right? And if it's ice crystals and stuff like that, you might end up with big spiky looking fucking hailstones, all just kind of nazified looking kind of stuff in the sky. And these, when they make a formation like that and it turns, it scoops things and moves it along in a circulatory way, even though it's a square turning. And there's a lot of geo moves going on. So let's have another quick look at this cell that's rather large that's gone between Gosford and that earlier. It should be dissipating a bit because the mountains in the passes, as you know, every time you squeeze something through a wind through an area, it increases its velocity and then drops it on the other side. Its pressure and its winds. So it's going to really be a bad situation for you guys coming. And this here is right over the top of Keskak. That's a very SS looking cloud. The SS cloud going over the Kaaba. Not the Kaaba. Oh no, not the Kaaba. What a straight line you got there, Keskak. Kessington's cut. And that went over about an hour ago, but you're not done yet. Now, you ain't done, because that men in high castles send Chembombs off Newcastle, and they'll make you some more. But that one just stayed in place. Just keep coming back. The heavy cell right over the top where that big radar is. Hint, fucking hint. Energize. Oh no, not Budger Wow. Budger why? Why? Oi, oi, oi. Chemi. Oi, oi, oi. Oh, Chemstralia sky's been fried. Look at this fryer on over here. Getting fried in the skies. Bzz, bzz, bzz. You guys are getting fried. My. Boom, with Gunda Windy, here's the big beam going up. The aroma of aroma stinking up the fart bombs. Look at that crap. The worst is what's coming across the bite right now. That's the kind of sickness mix I saw in 2016 when people started dying from that Chembomb asthma, as I was calling it. And that's before they even had the term thunderstorm asthma, which came after I said that. Psyop much, BOM? Higgins has his own page with BOM. So the BOM actually uses my forecast. So why ain't you telling people sooner then if you already knew? Numbnuts. Look at all the chems streaming in from out to sea over the top of the floor, folks. A perp. Fryers on. Looks like the fryer line's at Kalgoorlie. I said it's going to force all this down over here. Baladonia, and a Cockle Bitty Roadhouse. One day I have got to fly over to that place. This is very, turns into a mighty geometric shape out here. This plasma, this is over, is under them streamers of death that are coming in. Yeah, if we painted those green so you could see it look like something that, like one of the plagues of Egypt, would you care more? You know, when it makes a big F in your sky, do you realize who's getting fucked next? There's a big, like a heart of EMF over there because our president is just loving the bargain prices of your properties. Or the raising of the floodplain, perhaps, with siltations in the valley, so that suddenly the laws you put in place now apply to you, and you can't get that insurance. Well, government, there be any risk to insurance, you know. There ain't no payout, it's all pay in. See the eyebrow beam? Slowly paying that down the coast, and you'll continue to flow this storm toward where it needs to be. Yeah, this is a textbook move, and the surf is going to be crashing. Why is it flooding around Port Mac and all them? I'll show you why. Heated airflow from here dropped the condensates. Boy, is it vibrating in this square. right there. There's an eyebrow beam here. Yep, force and flow that direction, meaning this mass trying to come up to meet it, collides all the condensates, it sends them all over the skies of Tyrea over there, and that made you all fucking weather like shit. Wet scones. Let's pick the pulsation line out. This is big waveforms. Meeting big waveforms. Meeting big waveforms. Hey, beaming out to see much here from this spot? There's a ship here. Oh, yeah, they got lots of toys. You ever see some of the weather machine ships? Got some that'll steam it up, put moisture in the atmosphere called marine cloud brightening. You got ships out there with radars on them, and ships with HARP type arrays, even antennas. Yes. You see this line here? Everything marches in, comes in this direction here. Everything up here is coming in that line here. And the plasma lines from here. See that feature? That's why you got done. You see that dick they drew right there? You see the dick? When you see that dick, you know you're about to get it. Yeah. That means some of these water's going to go balls deep. Come on, Higgins. How did you miss this one? Let's make it a black one. Yeah, you're the pubes. The pubes are going to be wet. Dry your hairs. Really, the line for the... that's what it looks like. Yeah, I could have done it better than it. The pubes. Right. Beam, sweat, line of heaviest falls is in here in this box. Okay? That's your heaviest falls. See these bomb dots here? Those are the individual cells that have been dropping the condensates hard on you. And it's not done yet because this stuff out to sea, this is like a freshly done one, would have come in like that. But the heaviest falls came along that line where they want another port, but they want it right about here. I done my homework. I checked out something called your master plan. That's very not silly and sounding, isn't it? Do you have a master plan for Newcastle? Of course you do, and it's a sustainable development, Agenda 2030, 45 type roadmap to what they call your future, where you will own nothing. Yeah, you could probably rent your own to put a pair of pants. They'll make you shit them, and then they charge you to wash them. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. And Crafts, man, you're going to have like some record surf along here. Absolutely is. See that pulse wave pin in here? Where's the corridor flow? That's the separation boundary. Okay, so the corridor's through here. I guess that's the best way to do it. High. And you see quite well, actually, when I go in the eyebrow beam here, right? We already know about that other big one up here. So we know there's a pin going on here. And that's flow. That feeds storms. They got to have the air to feed. That's more dense than that, so that wind will go a little faster. It'll meet it back there. Tamworth is doing this, remember? Right? It was circled. It was up like this. And it was down, and we had it up. Okay? We have to remember these beams that were going on. They're gone with the wind one as well. So this will slow the condensates, and that was a rippler. Yep, the rippler. This is just geoengineering a storm. This is making a disaster. And some of it's quite bad. If I was zooming in on this map here, we could show you some of the areas flooded. This, I guess, is one of the worst they're saying. That's a thunderstorm watch they're saying. And I can go over some of these. And this was issued a southwest rack, severe storm weather. Stay indoors. That's not a bad thing to do. We don't want to risk emergency workers, do we? No. Because there's not a picture you need that's that bad. If you want to see what it looks like along the shore. And I suggest you yourself take a moment, if you're in one of these affected areas, to educate your own self. Well, I didn't make much of a to-do, Julie, about giving a big warning that I was going to go live today. I find sometimes it's best to just do things. And this is snow, right? But we told you it was going to snow. And I'd like to see some of the cameras, wouldn't you? Let's let the camera do the walking for us. What's it look like out here? Who's getting it really bad was yeah, it's like now I watched everything. And we can look at these storms come ashore. And you could do it quite safely. You could see whose cars are in the parking lot. You can have all sorts of fun with this. If a tsunami came, you could watch it. But this is a way I can have a look at your cam too. I can see which way things are leaning, which way they're pushing. If one's leaning one way and one's leaning another, that tells me you got cross flow. And down here, we can watch these boats go up and down. You see what's going on. See what kind of tide action we got. Skipper. Da, 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 da. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's out. And he's back. Hey, who's that girl on that boat? Hey, this could be like Coldplay. Oh, no. Yeah, we could Coldplay somebody. See who's in the boat. Nah, that would be mean. We don't do mean things on purpose. Thou shalt not what? They could do something about all that traffic, and you guys got another way to go. 7-Eleven is busy. Yeah, I can keep an eye on you guys pretty well this week. Let's see what we got going out here. Let's see if we can see what's come through by at the airport. And this will have more than one direction for me to look. So I ain't got to always ask you guys. And please don't blow up my messenger with other people's weather reports and stuff. I kind of already know your weather. It's just no need. Send it to the BOM. There's light pollution back there. It's getting... Oh, let's look at the ocean waves. Got anything good? Any big surges come up? No, not really. Didn't even go up into the parking lot. That's nice to see. Nice to see. Let's get back up here where they've been having some of the fun. There's no camera at Seal Rocks. Fix that shit. Oh, that's all right. With the new smart grid network, they're going to have a camera right up our wazoo soon. Wazoo cam. Hey, look at that. That's very dramatic seas out there today. Is it doing swell? Yes, we can look at that in advance too. You just go along. There's a lot of coastal cams here that you can look at. This place here was supposed to be getting the Coppingtons, so let's look. This is Tyree. Boy, they're right in a sight. I'm surprised they ain't got water on the runway yet. The diarrhea runway, oh. Very volatile. There's the interaction between the puzzle layers here. That's a separate layer of clouds that form. Very square looking edges here. Very mighty square looking. Squares always happen in nature nowadays. Human nature, architecture uses a lot of squares. Yeah, it looked pretty rough when I looked at some of your worldview imagery today. And this is just for you, an update for you, Storm. I'm expecting about another 10 centimeters in that box that I drew out just earlier. Yeah, 10 centimeters to go. Like a face. Sideways. Side saddled. You're getting side saddled, folks. Hold your breath. Yeah, sure. We always have. Is there a radar or something over here? A high mountaintop? Boom, boom, boom. When did a big balloon go over and deploy something? Does it have a radar on it? Hey, can't bear it. See that hazed out square over you? Can you bear it? Bunch of hazy gravy out there. People walk around in a coma and kuma. Most of your action that came over to that Newcastle area was all done out to sea with bombs and stuff. Very quickly deployed. Yep, very, very quickly deployed. Look at Bateman's Bay out here. I'll show you some of these bomb fields here. How many directions are the wind streaming? This one's got a thin end pointed here, and that's got a thin end there. You know, like when trailing winds shear the top of a cloud, cloud shear in two different directions. Get the fuck out of here. Only EMF's going to do that. Or a propelled vehicle. That's all I could think about. Something is being propelled, droning on and on about geoengineering with drones, kind of a thing. What a fucking shame. You boogeyman cloud out there. Chemtrail, cascading crap. EMF on the low deck. See those lines? Mr. Squiggles' his alter ego down there, bombing up their eyes, or a really bad makeup job, or a pillow on the morning after. The wake up of shame, the laundry of shame. Now you're breathing that stuff, that makeup on your faces, you know, the nanoparticles. And we look in the low deck, and what do we see? A fuckety buckety chemtrails for you and me. Have it. See the chemtrails here? In the middle of a storm. See the 69 in the sky there? Yeah, you're getting a face full of ass because of that. I have Tourette's. If you don't like it, just find someone else to listen to and hold that against someone else, like your own imperfections. The Pangy Forest. Boy, did you get fried. Like there was a spot here that just lobbed shit out. That's a honey buggle. The honey buggle cloud. Yeah, the honey bummel. Yep, just streamers of death. Just everywhere falling out on you guys. That's some sniffling, sneezes, and I feel bad more for the people riding motorbikes. Yeah, because you breathe more particles in. You see the pulsation here from this one spot. And the line going here. You have a radar here. Or a portable device of some kind, because its signature is plain as day. Plain as fucking day. Let's pick another color when it shows you. How about that nice color? Here's the circle pulse. Right from there. You see the comma looking things. Right, as you zoom back, you'll see it's also done a pulse. Right, it's done in three directions. It's going up, it's beamed out, it's beamed to the side, and it left its flow there to go like that. And you see it plain as day. If I take these lines back off. See the perturbation lines? Bzzz, fried, getting fried. This textbook reading of a radar. There's a scalar square as well. See it? If I take the lines off. The pentagram beam. Yeah, this is bad. No wonder the storm went in that direction. No wonder things just went across like that. Because the radar said it had to happen. They may hide the information from the data from us, but you ain't gonna hide your lies in the sky that are actually making clouds. It isn't a glitch if it's making clouds. You know what it is? It's a lie. You're being told lies. Stop lying, Higgins. Stop lying, BOM. Stop lying to people. People want the truth. And it's a hard truth to handle when you think that people are evil enough to do this. That's the hard thing to accept. Somebody says it's rippled like dropping a pebble in still water. Yes, often I compare it to that. But the water isn't still. Imagine adding rocks to a moving river and you can move the rock along. And create effects in just the top part of the river, but not the bottom. Or the bottom and not the top. It's complicated and simple. How do we stop it? We don't give our consent. We stop buying products from the people that fund this, that are well known. Is your convenience worth more than sunlight? It's going to fuck off fair quick after Monday. But the surf and the winds this weekend are going to be really bad. They can't stress this enough. This isn't one of these things that you're going to get out and expect your hat not to blow off, kind of a thing. Or your car not to blow down a mountain, or that there's not going to be a tree falling in the road in front of you. These things are to be expected with kilometer winds like that. Yeah, I got it in kilometers. 109, 120 kilometer, 125 kilometer an hour gushes. It's not going to be a surprise to me. Yep, because they're huffing, they're puffing, and they're blowing houses down. That is all. And that big square of lines there has all been set up by the radars. It's all mapped out. How would you like to be out here? Your sailboat? Not quite. So some of the winds to be expected are really going to drive some water on shore, like Port Mac and Tarry and all that. So the flash flooding tonight during high tide is to be expected. And then up the coast it goes. Boy, are you going to have some great surf. Absolutely fantastic. Yep, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, she's going to hang around through the weekend. So you got great surf as it goes up north. So just what I said yesterday, have it, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, have fun. That's only the 5 meter swells. And up they go, right to Burley's, where you go. See where it gets lame? But this whole coast is pick your wave. And yes, I told you Bandai's going to be running. Yeah, coastal erosion to be expected. Yeah, just pick it and know your local information. Don't do nothing stupid like get an emergency worker killed. Or yourself for that matter. You know, you don't know your full potential. You might be a dick now in life that turns into the most beautiful soul later on, you know. Because how do you know what right or wrong is sometimes unless you get chastised enough for doing it? When we raise ourselves and there's no parental units and you see it, 13-foot waves off the coast. Yeah, I put this in feet. That'll really fuck with Higgins. I didn't mean to do it like that, but some part of me wants to continue. Yeah, where's the wave height one? Oh, we'll get you back to the meters again. I don't know why that happened. And the swell is going to be about 3 meter swells along this lines here too. So you got some really, really wicked surf coming. I can't wait to see what they do here. This is probably your suerte de muerte. You're looking in mid-afternoon through the evening hours, sunset hours of Sunday. You're really going to see your highest surf and your highest swells on this southern line down here. Yeah, this will be where you're at your fair mix, where you get your 5, 6 meters, 7 meter swells. Well, the swells will be about 3. Yeah, this is not completely accurate. So I'm going to stick with what I said the other day. I mean, it's only 15, 20-foot waves, and then you're going to add the swells to it, right? That's why I said get your ass here. You see the increase? This is sunrise Monday. Yeah, that's going to be the stuff of legends will be made this weekend out there. Boards will be broken. And the swells, add 4 meters on top of that. That's why I said you might want to go do Bondi and get your fucking asses up to New South Wales proper. Get up to Byron. Enjoy yourself. Anywhere from Curbside up. And it's going to be absolute legend on the southern side of the points. Yeah, right around here specifically. And yeah, all of this is going to be running. All of this, all of it, all of it. All of it, every bit of it. Yep. And don't get tired of seeing it. The rain totals to be expected, like I said, was in the tens, and if I don't see that, then I'm just going to say it. And then I'm going to pretty much click off here because I'm really, really exhausted. We have a lot of correspondence, and if I can't get to your messages, I'm not going to apologize for it, but I wish I could get to everybody. I just don't get time for 500 messages at 30 seconds apiece. And so please refrain from the cloud pictures. You might as well send passages of the Bible to the Pope and explain what they mean. Send it to the BOM. That's what we got to do. If we don't raise awareness to this and get people talking about it all around the world, we're really got a big fucking problem on our hands. Because these square forms are just not round storms, are they? But it's becoming the norm. Obvious geoengineering here over the top in New Zealand. Obvious. Holding this storm up. The natural flow of the storm should be to just go right out to sea as a wisp and whisper and straight into the water, the river of water that heads towards Fiji and towards that area. But it's being held to the coast. It's being driven inland. It's being sustained with the chemical catalysts that are putting streaks in the sky over Streaky Bay here. And the Chembombs here, they're just absolutely criminal chemical attack on the peaceful population of Australia and the peaceful population of the world during the last 24-hour family picture that we took has been nothing but fumigated. There is nothing that has not been geoengineered on this planet. These clouds are very real. They are not fake. They are engineered. They have to teach this somewhere. And it's an abomination to teach some things. And this is an absolute metricide. We're killing our mother and taxing ourselves for the pleasure. Yep. What a fucking shame. We're going to have to stop this, folks. We're going to have to stop this. And this is me. This is my fry, and this is my ears ringing today. This has got to stop. Big love. Stay safe. Local information is where you will find your warnings now till the storm is over. Peace. Love you guys. See you when the storm's over. You're going to make it.